Greetings. Since we are in the cold season, I want to share with you some information I've been learning about what's going on and things we could do about it. Some of the most powerful information I got was from the great Dr. Sebi, who was assassinated last August down in Honduras. But he suggested it's us being in an unnatural environment and consuming unnatural foods. One of the things he pointed out is the air. In a lot of our communities, the air is polluted through different industries like the airlines, cars, the oil industry, through fracking. But until we can resolve that, that is one of the reasons why a lot of us experience respiratory and other problems. He also pointed to the water, as we see in Dakota with the access pipeline. In Flint, Michigan, how the water is being contaminated. Also out here in Los Angeles, people in Watts have been showing how their water is flammable. So most definitely we have to get a better system of water. Dr. Sebi suggested that we drink spring water, a gallon a day. Another thing he pointed out is we have to consume more raw foods to get electric cell energy to help our cells better regenerate. He also pointed that we understand the necessity of our pH balance. We have to have more alkaline systems as opposed to acid in our systems. Acid is one of the main reasons, he said, we experience a lot of diseases. He said a lot of the consumption of the wrong foods compromises the mucous membrane around our cells, which interrupts the regeneration of our cells. He said the overconsumption of meat and dairy. We're consuming unnatural dairy, dairy from a cow, dairy from a goat. A lot of us, after nursing age, should stop consuming dairy. He said that's why it's a lot of pus related to a lot of the diseases that we deal with. But also, as we have moved more and more into a fast food nation, he said this is another thing that causes our system to be compromised, whether it's the processed sugars, salts, and other foods, but also the corn, rice, and potatoes. You consider a lot of products that we eat are corn, rice, and potato based, which is full of starch. Starch is not good for our systems as it leads to a more acidic system. So some of the things Dr. Sebi suggested that we do consume as far as vegetables are amaranth greens, avocado, bell peppers, chayote, cucumber, dandelion greens, garbanzo beans, kale, lettuce, except for iceberg, mushrooms, except for shiitake, okra, olives, onions, sea vegetables such as wakame, arami, nori, squash, tomatoes. He suggested only cherry and plum tomatoes, as other ones are artificial and more acidic. Tomatillo, turnip greens, zucchini, and watercress. Some of the fruits he suggested are apples, bananas. The smaller bananas are the mid-sized bananas. He said the larger ones are most definitely GMO. Berries, all berries, elderberries, except for cranberries, which are more acidic. Cantaloupe, cherries, currants, dates, figs, seeded grapes, not the GMO grapes that they market to us, the seedless grapes, not those, but the seeded grapes, limes, mangoes, seeded melons, oranges, the Seville or the more sour oranges, which are a little more difficult to find. Again, you figure they market everything we don't need to us. Papayas, peaches, pears, plums, the prickly pear, which is a cactus fruit, prunes, raisins, soft jelly coconuts, soursops, which is a very powerful fruit, and tamarind. Some of the spices he suggested: allspice, anise, burdock, chamomile, elderberry. Excuse me, these are teas: elderberry, fennel, ginger, raspberry tea, tilla tea. Some of the spices and seasonings he suggested are basil, bay leaf, cloves, dill, parsley, savory, sweet basil, tarragon, and thyme. Some of the more spicy flavors: cayenne, coriander with the cilantro, onion powder, habanero, and sage. Salt, he suggested pure sea salt. granulated seaweed, sweet flavors such as agave or date sugar, nuts or hemp seed, sesame seeds, raw sesame butter, walnuts, Brazilian nuts, oils such as olive oil but don't cook it, coconut oil, don't cook it, grapeseed oil, sesame oil, hemp seed oil, and avocado oil. And he stated that wheat is not natural. We need to consume amaranth, quinoa, rye, spelt, or wild rice. So these are just some of the things the great Dr. SEBI pointed out. And again, I have experimented with this and found this to be beneficial. All power to the people.